Driving a Tesla has a learning curve, or so I've been told. Well, I mean, the new models S and X have a yoke. Surely that's going to be a big pain in my butt. Maybe not. The steering, you gotta hold it just so when you're in autopilot or FSD or what have you. Well, is the car even worth driving? That's what we're here to find out. Let's suss it out, man. I'm Brian. Welcome to My Tesla Weekend. So today what we're going to do is try out the yoke on the Model X. I got the wheel turned, so I got to straighten it out. Because a lot of people love to say, I don't know about this, man. It's, I can't do this, which, by the way, if you're doing this and you get in an accident, you're going to get a face full of airbag. Not ideal. Maybe a broken arm. Yeah. But I drink lots of milk. And definitely for health reasons, and not because the dairy lobby spent $1 billion convincing me that that's the only way to survive. So far, no concern with that. I hadn't used this funky blinker button. Yeah. Complete stop just with regen so far.
Isn't that cool?
One pedal. This so far doesn't feel weird at all, I would say. Yeah. Let's experiment with horn. It's fine. All right, I'll do that. Car. So she knows I'm turning. Why doesn't she turn the blinker on?
Good question. She will eventually with full self-driving.
Now, this is not the latest version of the hardware. The software? What version are you on?
I'm on like 32 and they're up to 40. And then I'm also not doing full self-driving anymore because they took that away from me because I have to be punished. I bought a new car.
Yeah, you had it on the previous X, not on this one.
You may want to floor it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Got a spot picked out?
There we go.
Truck up here is coming over too. There you go. They wanted to surprise you. Foiled them again.
Okay. Well, I think in a second here, we'll go ahead and, yeah, it turns off. Yeah. Well, in a minute here, we'll pause the video because yoke on the highway, not a real challenge. I will say the noise level in here is fantastic. The volume, it's much quieter than a Y. It's much quieter than my minivan. I would say it's definitely not as quiet as my Lexus was. Well, my Lexus also had much skinnier tires. But also, I'm not recommending anyone buy a 93 SC300. It was a great car, though. It was a really great car. 228 horsepower or something like that. Hey, man, it was hot. It was hot at the time. So when we get back into town, we'll do a little bit more to see how we like the yoke. So we're back with part 2 of the whole shebang. Yeah. And we're going to tool around the parking lot a little bit and make sure I am happy with the yoke. Because yesterday, well, a few days ago, my impression was not a big deal. Did not have a learning curve for me. And a little fumble there, but not too bad. One neat thing, I was worried about sun visors, and these guys, because I thought, well, yeah, now it's blocking the sun, but what if the sun is over it? You just pull it up. You got this nice blade here that will handle you. Oh, I guess I should go in the correct direction. That'll handle kind of whatever angle the sun is at. So that works in ways that I would not have even thought about. This parking lot's not super exciting. Yeah, see, that's, I mean, I guess it's a little awkward, but for me, there was no learning curve on the yoke. And just generally, it's an easy car to drive. I do like the unobstructed view of the binnacle, and I would say I have not gotten used to them yet. Let's see, we won't go very far. nice. Truck wash. I would like if these clicked, if the blinkers made some noise. They don't.
They do give a bit of the feedback, tactile feedback.
Do they?
But, yeah, but not
Haptic?
not that I can tell reliably. Yeah, haptic, whatever you want to call it.
Where it vibrates at you?
Yeah, a little vibrating thing behind there. Yep.
So, I gotta say, I really think no big deal. No big deal. It's nice having the driver profiles, because when I hopped in, all I had to do was hit my profile and the seats and mirrors go back where they needed to be.
And had you had a phone key in your pocket with your settings in it, it would have already been there.
If I'd have had the Tesla app, even though I don't own a Tesla,
Yep.
it would still be like, yeah,
You don't need to own a Tesla.
So-
You can charge other things with the Tesla app now.
That means if I get the app, set my profile,
Yep.
and rent from Hertz, when I get in that car, my settings are saved.
Theoretically, we'll see. They've moved them to the cloud, so hopefully they will.
That would be
Pretty cool, huh?
pretty handy for people who rent them more than once in a while.
Yeah.
Oops, not that. I'm just gonna.
You have to drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive.
Oh wait, I did it wrong. See space, Mo.
All right.
If you want to hear that better, the right knob will turn it up a little. There you go.
The left. You mean, or the
Left
right?
knob, yeah. Left knob's volume, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind the yoke at all.
You can get used to it pretty quickly.
I wouldn't say I prefer it, but I've only used it a very little amount. Hey, Jeff. So, Jeff is very...
Don't tell everyone.
He's
The
a very
cops
good
might be
driver.
listening. Cheese it, it's the fuzz. I'll tell you, that's the one place full self-driving has spoiled me a little. It watches all the red lights and stop signs for me.
We're stuck.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Should I roll back a foot?
I don't know. Is there a cop around? Is it a trap? Are they waiting for you? Waiting for you to do... That's what I wanted him to do. Now watch. I'll get this guy.
There's somebody.
It triggered something. Might have been you, yeah.
Might have been him, we'll see.
Who knows? Either way, there's a chance now that we're going to move relatively soon. Yeah, it adjusted on its own. It's in hold mode, probably.
Oh, I see.
Puts itself into hold when you're stopped. So it won't roll downhill on you without letting you know.
Yeah.
It'll release the minute you hit the gas or the brake again. It's like one of those ratchets on a golf cart, you know. Push down the brake on a golf cart, there's a ratchet position where it'll lock down, and then there's the other.
So we
Tap
live,
it again,
we
it
live
pops
here
up.
now. I'm going to, with your permission, run the red light.
You do what you want, man. It's your ticket. It's in the clear, and the cops don't seem to be following us yet, so looks like you got away with it. So these are some of the new Valley homes that are probably receding and sinking into the ground daily because they've pumped down the water supply so much around here.
Oh, they've just begun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it feels fine.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to ask you a question you're not able to answer yet, which is how does FSD on the old car compare to FSD on the new car?
Right.
It should be the same. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
It should be close, mostly because, as I mentioned before, my car was a unicorn in that it had new cameras, new FSD computer, and the new infotainment computer. So there were not nearly as many differences between this car and that car as there would have been had I just had a plain old 2017 Model X.
You know what I could talk about real quick to fill out this video? I had a chance to meet with a former Tesla employee last month at an event who had some real crazy theories. One was, he said that the Model Y with the 4680s was not out yet. And I said, but it is, it is. He said, no, those are just employee purchases. And I said, no, it's been sold outside the company because Sandy was able to purchase one from somebody in Florida who'd gotten one. He said, oh, that's probably an employee. I'm like, Florida? I mean, it could be a service center employee, I guess.
Sure.
And he says, he goes, yeah, no, those aren't, and I'm like, but they've made 20,000 already at the time. Surely there aren't 20,000 employees who would have bought one. That's 20% of the global company workforce. And he said, well, they could be putting them somewhere. They might put them in, big parking lot somewhere we don't see, and then just steal parts out of them to build new. I'm like, oh, buddy,
He's thinking of Volkswagen.
You're
think.
off the deep end.
When they bought back all the diesels.
I did see pictures of that.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't hide 15,000 cars. What are you talking? And they might scrap them, salvage them. I'm like, right. No, that would show up in the financials because we know how many they produced, and if they were trying to overstate the numbers, you'd say, oh well.
Sure, and even Ford and Chevy had to cop to theirs when they had cars they couldn't finish.
At some point, they also have to show up as sold models.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to claw back your production. Whatever it was, it has to stay. So that was some fun conspiracy time, and I don't know. I did not ask what his role was at Tesla. He could have been a service center employee. I don't know. I didn't ask, but it was a theory that did not deserve its own mention. But I figure maybe it'll show up in this video since we're kind of filling out the time. So we're still driving. It's been 150 miles. You think?
Something like that.
And I had it navigating on autopilot, but it kept saying, oh, your hands aren't on the wheel. My hands were on the wheel. And on the third one, it kicked me out. You are no longer eligible for auto steer during this drive, which is exasperating because if you put too much pressure, it'll kick you out. And if you put not enough pressure, it'll bark at you and eventually kick you out. So that's pretty frustrating. On the highway, of course, the yoke is nice. You can just kind of put your hands in it. You can put your hands on it. It is, I would argue, more comfortable for highway driving. You can grab the little knobs, little nubbies, 0.6 miles. And it's, I don't know, for highway driving, the yoke is definitely, I think, a better option, more comfortable. What do you think?
I love it. I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me at all.
But more than not bothering me, I like it.
Yeah, it's comfy, like you say, when you can rest your hands on top of it sometimes.
On top,
just kind of, get
on
a
the
place
knobs,
to rest them a little.
On the sill.
Yeah.
Got some options there.
And this car actually has windowsills too. You can put your arms.
Oh
on,
yeah, actual windowsills.
Oh
really? On the
the
X?
other one had kind of a slope there and it didn't really work. So they've improved the interior a lot, if you ask me.
So we're going to a charging location that we're pretty sure is a charging location, but it's a little off the beaten path, and we'll see how it works, because that is our entire mission. Oh, that's something I should mention is range anxiety. Oh, so much anxiety. We've driven, what would you say, 1,000 miles?
Oh, in the trip, it was about 350, 400 on the way down, same thing on the way back. And right now we're at about halfway home. And
an easy 100 plus in town. Easy.
Oh, yeah, easy, yeah.
Easy.
Little zips back and forth.
It's an interesting little area.
Yeah.
So we're in, coming up on 1,000 miles, maybe 700. And we have not experienced range anxiety because chargers are kind of everywhere. And when you put in navigation, it's like, oh, you'll arrive there with 18% or...
And on Highway 99, there's about twice as many as there used to be.
Compared to
a lot of the gaps.
Compared to Interstate 5?
Yeah, which
the 5, if you will.
Of them as well, yeah. It always has.
What am I doing here?
I'm not sure.
I think it's right.
I think it's very close by, yeah. Maybe it's those big warehouses over there.
But, oh, I see. I do have to go under this bridge. Gotcha.
They're stopping there. We're good.
Quite an area. But we are trying to find
the first mega charger.
What? No, we're just we're normal people.
It told us to come here to charge. I put in chargers and it found this place as a place that had a charger.
You weren't kidding when you said you thought they'd be fenced off. You can show that now. It is.
Look. This is where, there's even some tents and stuff set up.
Wow.
Look at that. Maybe they're going to have a party, huh? When the first one arrives.
Very much. No, that's party ain't here. It's going to be in Nevada, but.
Wow.
Let's.
Shipping, receiving, customer pickup.
Well, I'm a customer.
We have been. I've drunk a lot of Pepsi in my day.
I've got Mountain Dew in my tummy tum. Let's see.
It'll have that livery on the side, I'm guessing, once they get it. Start to look very nice.
Well,
let's give it a go.
Well, we'll cruise around nice and slow again.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it on the way out.
To see.
Nice corrugated wall there, just for fun. There you go.
Yeah. How's it going? Hey, do you know if the electric chargers have been put in for the semi-trucks yet?
I actually have no clue.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah, I was just wondering.
We're trying to figure out just to get a picture of them on the way through.
Yeah, I would have known, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks.
Inside scoop. You heard it here first.
He knew.
Don't know. No, I don't think he did. Oh, I don't think that guy would give a shit.
There's barricades over there.
The
There he goes.
the boxes
Our
would
buddy.
be very hard to miss.
Well, they're tall tombstones. Yeah, they're those.
Yeah, we've seen pictures.
Yeah. Well, we
You-
know where the yard is.
Yeah, you want to swap out?
Sure, I don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a drive. Take a turn. Get us.
Well, there it is, and there you go. So, what did I miss or misunderstand? Leave me your thoughts, your wisdom, your juicy brilliance into the comments below, and stay tuned, stay juicy, and I simply cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.